Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Geek Culture Congress podcast. My name is Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my good friend, actor and comedian, writer, director, long form editor. What else do you do, Tarek? Life coach.
I am your celebrity name interpreter.
There you go. Yes. Mr. Tarek Lewis is joining me live via the interwebs, for, poolside.
Yeah.
Welcome to Geek Culture Congress, ladies and gentlemen. We talk. If you're live here on watching on whatever your favorite channel is, right there on one of my DJ channels on Facebook or Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel. This is Geek Culture Congress podcast. Go ahead and give the look for the audio version of this podcast. And if you're listening to the audio version of this after it's all said and done, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the audio version of the podcast, because of our reach has increased tenfold there. We're really excited for everyone who consumes this show after and listens to it at their leisure. Tarek, how about that, huh?
Yeah, I like that. Good word.
Yeah. I'm practicing my big words, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Tarek, we Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has come and still in the movie theaters right now, making good money. We haven't had a chance to talk about it because life has gotten in the way. That's what we're gonna do today, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk a lot of spoilers about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and if you haven't seen it by now,
if you haven't seen it by now, you don't care about it.
Yeah. I guess we could talk a little bit about Fast X too, huh? Have you seen that already, Terry?
I have not, and I have no intentions on seeing it.
It's that, like, if it's not your thing, like that's like you're done with the Fast and Furious franchise. It's gonna be more of that. So it's not gonna be for you. You know what I mean? This just go watch a rom-com or something.
Yeah.
Flash is coming soon, right? When is the release date for Flash?
Because I believe Flash is June 3rd. It's next week.
Oh man. Is it next week?
Yeah.
June 3rd. So next weekend. Okay, but this weekend, Indy 5, right?
June 16th actually is the Flash. I stand corrected. June 16th is the Flash.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So they pushed it even farther. Okay. All right. So, but this weekend is it this weekend Indy 5, or that's pushed back?
That is June 30th.
June 30th. June 30th.
Yes.
June 30th. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was all off with wrong information and everything. That's why I have you here, Terry.
Yeah, you felt like the whole world got pushed back with our show.
Yeah, I did.
Well, everything's off 2 weeks now.
Yeah, that's what happens when we take a whole. All my dates got messed up. Information, don't know what we're talking about today. All I know is we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Tarek, you saw the movie?
I did.
What did you think about it?
I've been debating this, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's a top 5 MCU film.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Top 5 MCU film.
I can't disagree with you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I got it over. I mean, it's of course it's not over Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's still probably the best MCU film. Can't
remind
put it over.
Remind me to bring that Winter Soldier topic back up.
Okay.
Later on.
Can't quite put it over Infinity War just because the epic nature of Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's my blackness wants to say Black Panther.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
I like it. I like it more, probably a little more than Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
I think it's slightly better than Thor Ragnarok. So okay. I got it in my top 5.
Okay. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was an excellent send-off.
Yeah.
For the characters, for the arc. I thought it was a good closing chapter for that iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was well done. Gosh, it was just very. It was evolved in the movie from beginning to end. There you go. You know what I mean? Like it was just a great theater experience. The story was well. It didn't feel like it had to like connect things and get into the multiverse stuff that they're on right now with Marvel.
Right.
And that was a little it was kind of refreshing, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had heart. It had like a lot of heart to it, but that wasn't forced.
Right.
So one of my favorite comic book movies of all time is Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people give Logan shit because they're like, well, it was depressing or it was sad. And like, it's supposed to be fun. And I was like, okay. But it's a great film. Like to me, Logan was just like a great film.
Yeah.
Guardians accomplished that and still had like the funny, crazy comic book stuff.
Yeah.
While still having like all the heart and the actual good film qualities about it, not just a good comic book film. So that's what makes me put Guardians way up there. The reason I have Winter Soldier so high is that Winter Soldier would be a good film if it wasn't about comic books.
That's right. If Winter Soldier stood alone and you didn't watch anything else before that, even the first Captain America, I think you would just watch. You would enjoy that movie. You would like, damn, this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is like a really good Mission Impossible film.
Yeah.
Or James Bond film. So I got Guardian. I think it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Without trying to be too forcibly funny. Massive improvement on the second one.
Okay.
Rare time that the third film is the best one. You know what I mean? Most of the times, the third film is not the best one.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
So I think the second kind of like wasn't trash, but it kind of fell off a little bit. This one got it all back. Great character work. It wasn't too obvious. They could have gone with like Star-Lord getting back with Gamora, or they could have gone Star-Lord getting with Nebula.
Yeah. Could have done a bunch of things, but
they did. Yeah. And a friend of mine was talking. They were like, they didn't kill anybody. Like we thought they were gonna kill. So we were like betting on who was gonna die. And we all assumed. I think a lot of people assumed, oh, Drax is gonna die, right. Because Batista's not doing the movies anymore, and they didn't do that.
No, they didn't. It's very interesting.
Very well done.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a very good time with the movies. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into the nitty gritty, ladies and gentlemen. This is your spoiler warning. There you go. We're gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and if you still haven't watched it yet, well, it's too bad. There was a little Howard the Duck in that movie, and I was expecting to get a little bit more, before we go into the actual story. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought they were going to utilize that character a little bit, but I guess they just left. He kind of left it. He exists, and leave it to somebody else. I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know why people want to see that damn character.
Yeah.
I don't know what about your childhood.
I think he's funny and comedic.
See Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I just think people just want to see it done right, done in the MCU, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous, stupid character. I don't understand what's wrong with people.
It is, but it's just for fun, I don't know, but I like it kind of like continues from the Halloween special straight into like the first scene. The whole presentation.
Special, the Christmas special.
Yeah. The Christmas special, the Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Yeah.
So that whole presentation, of course, we got our first final look at Adam Warlock was introduced in this movie in the MCU proper. A couple Infinity movies late.
Right.
But I liked it. I liked his whole explosive intro in the beginning. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you expect that power set from him off the bat?
Was he created by the High Evolutionary in the comic book?
So I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think so. But I guess indirectly in the MCU he is, right?
Yeah.
Because he created that race, right?
Yes.
The race that created Adam Warlock. So I guess that indirectly he is part of High Evolutionary's creations. That whole introductory fight, I thought was kind of like, man, like he's like owning like all the Guardians, and it's like they barely, I forgot her. The the sister of Gamora. She had
Nebula.
that. Yeah, Nebula. She had that. She's able to. She has a new skill set. I guess that Rocket Raccoon has given her, and she's able to form some different weapons and stuff like that, like shapeshift, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, one of her arms was it one of her arms or both her arms?
Well, we only saw it with one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was interesting too. Yeah, it looked like some.
Well,
It kind of reminded me of like how Tony would change his suit into
yeah,
weapons.
yeah. It seems like it's like a little bit of that Stark technology, but made even better by Rocket Raccoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little improvement.
Yeah.
There's even fights later on. Nebula like gets punched in the face and like she deforms, like like her whole neck gets look like it's broken, but it just forms back. Kind of like a like a plastic kind of person.
Yeah, she pulled what I call it the creepy Japanese girl move. The creepy
Yeah.
Japanese girl in a horror film is always like crawling very strangely out of a
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pulling that.
Well, they did a little bit of that in the Multiverse of Madness when the Scarlet Witch was going crazy.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yes.
But that's magic, and this is our galactic MCU story. So, but I see like they kind of want to like make technology and magic are kind of the same thing, but just different approaches to the same science or the same stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They've always based the magic in this universe on it's energy manipulation.
Right. Right.
So even one of the Ravagers.
Yeah, I was gonna, and I'm glad you brought that up. I want to bring that up, but go ahead.
Yeah, one of the Ravagers has clearly has the same type of magic or whatever that Doctor Strange has, or it looks the same at least.
Right. Yeah, the portals that he was opening in the spaceship, or opening the same. It's nice little things like that, to show that you're still in the same universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. I might jump around different plot points of the movie because my brain works like that.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. So I just found it interesting that they actually kind of like defeated Warlock, or that he had to leave. You know what I mean? They kind of like, it was like a Hail Mary, but they still kind of got away with it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it was interesting because at one point they say, "Hey, you got to be careful with the Guardians; they're more powerful than you think." And I was thinking, like, no, they're not.
I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, all right.
But I guess then when you think about it, like if they're the ones in the galaxy that's known for killing ego and for taking down all of the what were they called? The Sovereigns. They're known for killing ego, taking down the Sovereigns.
They're chilling in the head of a dead Celestial.
Yeah. Defeating Ronin. They're known for defeating Ronin. So yeah, they probably have a reputation now at this point, and helping beat Thanos. They probably have a reputation for being like, okay, they're badasses.
Yeah. I then after the presentation of Adam Warlock, and then where she's trying to get them, and they realize it's all about Rocket Raccoon. He gets injured, right? Yes. I thought it was very interesting how they did that. I thought it was very creative. Like he had some kind of, but then again, I thought so he got injured. Just to break it down, he got injured, and he got some kind of fail safe or whatever, or somebody tries to revive him or something like that.
Yes.
That it kicks in and tries to like destroy the creation or something.
Yeah, he basically had a life lock on him.
Yeah, like a life lock. Yeah.
Somebody make sure that it's like something like he had an air tag on his heart.
Yeah. But so, I mean, he's been through a bunch of adventures already, and he's never taken damage like that before in any of those movies.
No.
Yeah, that's what made me think. Like he's ever gotten hurt like that before.
No, we've never seen Rocket get really, really hurt like that.
No. Okay, because it was kind of like they try to use the Rejuva packs, those instant Rejuva packs that they have in the galaxy, and I guess that really like kills you right away, or if you got a broken arm or something like that, it like magic kills you,
he hasn't taken, even against Thanos or whatever you want to call him, and he never really took a bunch of bad damage.
Right.
Yeah, Quill even says at one point, not in this movie, but in other films, like, you want to be where the danger isn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
So Rocket kind of stays out of harm's way often.
That's true. That's true. I was thinking, not even in the big final battle. I mean, he was in there. He was mixing up with everybody. You know.
Yeah,
But anyway, I digress. But I thought it was very interesting, the little life lock thing, the little like little Trojan horse. There you go. You know,
yeah.
and a little virus thing or whatever that was in his heart, or whatever, or in his blood. Was his blood, I believe.
It was, you know, it was actually, I
Yeah.
think it was in his heart or
Mm-hmm.
attached to his heart.
I touched his heart. Yeah, yeah. It was like a parasite had it, something like that.
Mm.
So and then they had to get some kind of code to unlock it, and then they realized that it belonged to the company that the Galaxy company that was run by the High Evolutionary.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
looked it up. The High Evolutionary in the comic book does not create Adam Warlock,
Mm-hmm.
but is responsible for naming him Adam Warlock and sending him on missions to
Okay.
counter Earth. So they took the story
Mm.
very close
Yeah,
to.
I know. Yeah, I know that Counter Earth existed in the book, in the comic
Yeah,
books at one point. Um. So they go on this mission. They have to recruit. They have to use the Ravagers, and that's what we see. Gamora once again, or the Gamora from this now this new version of Gamora
Hmm.
back again, and then we get the drama between Star Lord and Gamora again, because he still loves her and still has affection for her, and she has no affection for her whatsoever, because she didn't fall in love with him like the Gamora who was killed in Infinity War.
Yeah.
So I like this. I liked all this. You know, it was very touching. Had a lot of heart. I like that like when they're on the mission around that like earthy base or whatever that they had to infiltrate. That skin. It was like a biological base.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
which was
what
kind of
that what that the
interesting.
company was. Yeah,
And
that
yeah,
was yeah.
and that was definitely James Gunn. You know, James Gunn likes to be like fart
Yeah.
jokey in that
It
way.
was very that visually looked like a Wes Anderson film to me.
It was kind of disgusting, but it's or whatever. It wasn't
Yeah,
too bad. It was like touching the line of disgusting, like almost. You
very
know?
it was very college humor.
Yeah, it
Like
was. It
yeah,
was.
if you had collegeclub.com back in the day, it was like one of those situations.
But this is all right. But that scene and that dialogue that he had with her, he was like, "I've never stopped loving you." I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, but anyway, it was a very long, touching
Well,
dialogue, and then they made fun of him after it because everybody heard it in the comms.
I like the part. I think it's around that same moment where
Mm-hmm.
she says like, and it's in the trailer, but it still came off funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it doesn't sound like you're talking about me. It sounds like you're talking about her.
Oh yeah,
And
they were
he's
later
kind of
on
like,
when they infiltrated the base.
yeah, he's kind of looking at Nebula. She's
yeah.
like,
Uh-huh.
he's like, stop looking at me. You know, every guy has been through
Yeah.
that. Just some girl is like, hey, don't look at me that way. Like my fault.
Look at me like that. So they infiltrate the bay. Long story short, there's a bunch of getting caught and not getting caught and escaping and stuff like that happens on the base.
By the way, that entire scene, the escape scene, you know, it reminded me of the very first Guardians, where they escaped from the prison.
Yeah. You got a point. And you know, there you go. When you bring that up, they never talked about the cops, the Galactic cops. What are they called? The Xandar people. We know they got busted up. You know, like I
Yeah,
figured they would like show it in ruins or
yeah, I think
something.
I'm sure that'll come up in future projects, maybe
Yeah.
with maybe with the Marvels or Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Probably. You know, I'm sure clearly they're going to be using Adam Warlock in the future. You know, clearly, I think the Xandar kind of got destroyed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe the whole planet got destroyed. Maybe it doesn't even exist. It's just like Alderaan in Star Wars. Just rocks.
Yeah. A billion souls screaming out all
at
once.
Yeah. So they escape. And I'm a little fuzzy now. Right. So they escape, and then they the code doesn't work. The code that they got, right?
Yeah, I believe that's what happened. The code
Something
didn't work.
The code didn't work, or it got erased, or the file got erased, or something. And then they figured out it was one of the henchmen of the
of the
The
high
high
evolutionary.
evolutionary, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then they trying to find out where he is now, right? There are a bunch of flashbacks of Rocket Raccoon, and we see how his beginning and all the torture and stuff like that he went through. And that was kind of a little dark. That was kind of like a little Tim Burtonish, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I wouldn't say my favorite. The Rocket Raccoon
Mm-hmm.
flashbacks were like the realism part that made this film like a good film, not just a good movie. Hey, this shit was
Fair enough.
heartbreaking, but like
Yeah. It was a little dark. It was a little
yeah,
dark. Like I don't know if I'd bring a small child to that movie.
right. That as I was thinking that, I was like, yo, this ain't good for the kids. These little
Yeah.
tortured animals. Like
Yeah.
kids don't like to see handicapped otters.
Yeah.
I don't think they
I
do.
know.
I mean, I don't have kids, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I
Yeah,
think
or like the rabbit that was a spider. Like, oh,
yeah,
man,
a
that's
paraplegic
like.
rabbit with
But then again, I think about like Tim Burton. Like he has that like a lot of that imagery in his stuff.
yeah,
Like and
yeah.
But
To be honest, Toy Story has some creepy ass toys in it too that were kind of
yeah.
messed up. The land of reject toys or wherever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Those little creepy ass things.
Yeah, it was definitely it did it. It is a line that it didn't cross, but it definitely touched it and pushed it like this, like and
Yeah.
tickled it. You know what I mean?
That's what,
So
and you made it sound weird when you said tickled it.
tickled it.
I gotta be honest with you. It made me a little uncomfortable.
So let me make sure I'm getting this right. They figure it out that the henchmen. Then they go to the counter Earth because they're gonna go talk to the High Evolutionary or confront him. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Right? They go to the planet. They figure it out that it's like a Earth kind of planet, but with creatures.
Yes.
And even the society is very Earth style and everything. The same.
Yes.
The same as the Earth and MCU. Should I say?
Yeah.
I think it's funny they get confronted like if they were like invading aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
You think
And
about it,
everybody
it
was
makes
scared of
sense.
them. Yeah. It does. It does. I mean, look. What do you think will happen? Same thing happened here. You know what I mean?
Shout out, by the way, to an acting associate of mine who was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
She played the alien that takes them in to their house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Darla Delgado. She's here. She's from the Central Florida area. So shout out to her and her role. Great role.
And that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
she had to learn that alien language. So you got to speak
right. I was wondering what the audition was like when she did it.
Like when you're gonna be in Star Trek and have to learn Klingon to like do the role, whatever, or do the lines that you have to do in Klingon language.
Yeah.
Or what? Like if you're on House of the Dragon and you got to talk one of those old languages of Valerian or something like that.
Old Valyrian,
yeah. I wonder who sits down and write and create like, okay, we need to create this language. Who does that?
I'm sure there's a linguist out there, and you got to think with things like Star Trek. There's some lonely kid who probably knows how to speak Klingon. There's some lonely individuals out there.
At this point, because there's a lot. It's been out for a long time, and there's a lot of lore and a lot of probably written articles and books about it, and from people who actually wrote it. Back in the day. So I'm sure there's a lot of source material to continue, but like this is like just something creative off the rip,
Yeah, I wonder if there was like a script supervisor who was like, it's actually supposed to be 3 clicks and a growl. So it's,
yeah. There's probably people like that. It's probably they get paid like billions of dollars just to come up with unique, crazy languages.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to find that out. But that was awesome. They got taken in by a family, and then they there was curse words in this movie.
Yeah,
and the first S word, or was it F-bomb? I forgot.
The first F-bomb, I think
it was an F-bomb.
Yeah.
I guess James Gunn just wanted to do that. Like, it's my last movie, and I want to throw F-bomb in my movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why not? Nobody cares anymore. Kids
I think Ant-Man in Endgame says, "Take the goddamn picture" to the kids.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not even PG-13, I think. So then they confront the it was supposed to be like a meeting, I guess. How did they get that? How did they make that meeting with High Evolutionary? Because it was they were invited in, and then it became a confrontation.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
forgot. Yeah, I think he said we'll give you Rocket for something else, and they were trying to make a little negotiation.
Yeah, like it was like a negotiation. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it went south, and we have our first confrontation there, and bunch of jumping off the sides of ships.
yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was interesting. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Adam Warlock is set
Oh
off
yes, yes,
in
yes.
this
So
moment because the sovereign is like it's like, hey,
they're
we have
still
to do
trying to
this.
get Rocket. The sovereign people are still trying to get Rocket for High Evolutionary on the side, and
Yeah,
Adam Warlock. I thought it was very interesting. So they tried to do the beginning of Adam Warlock, that he doesn't, he's very juvenile,
yeah,
in the beginning. Um, but the second time that his mother dies and he loses his school, you know,
hmm
he's off hinge. It just seemed like, I don't know. It seems misplaced. I don't know. That was probably the only, if I didn't like anything out the movie, it probably was that. I don't know.
I found it fluid. I felt like it
Yeah.
made sense
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
to me. Yeah,
So of course he loses his mother. High Evolutionary self-destructs the counter Earth thing, or what is it, counter Earth? What it was
Counter
called?
Earth. Yeah,
Yeah, counter Earth. He self-destructs the whole planet, and of course his mother, they're waiting on the ship, and they don't know it's going to blow up. So he tries to fly back to save her. After he takes another shot at getting Rocket Raccoon, and has a conversation with Gamora of all people on the ship. They
yeah.
have a nice little back and forth. But he was knocked out for a second. How did she knock him out?
I think it was when the ship. Oh, I thought he got
She
knocked out when the ship exploded.
No, I thought she knocked him out
I don't
with
recall how she
something,
did
with a
it.
weapon, one of
Oh
Rocket's
yeah,
weapons.
there was a weapon on the ship. Yeah, I think there was a weapon on the ship.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what kind of weapon it was that knocked him out like that.
Yeah,
I don't even remember, because you know she definitely don't have the power set of him. So
right.
yeah, and maybe I wasn't paying attention or something, or my wife was asking me a question. I missed that, and I thought it was okay. I missed that. Now I have to rewatch the whole damn movie.
Yeah, as if you weren't going to rewatch it anyway.
I don't know. I like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite comic books. The comic book story Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed it. Reading
Okay.
it. Got a lot of them. A couple of them on my wall. The Annihilation wave that happens with Annihilus.
Mm.
That the Guardian Galaxy is involved with the comics. If they do that in the MCU style, with of course a little tweaking, stuff like that, that could be very epic. Very epic. Yeah. But they have to do a lot of Fantastic Four stuff and Annihilus stuff first
Yeah.
before they even get close to that. So Adam Warlock, mother gets killed. They escape the planet, but they're still on the ship, right? Don't get me wrong.
I do not recall this sequentially. What is that?
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
I have more of a
They get
macro
back to the
understanding
ship.
of.
They get back to the ship, but then some of them are stuck in there because they think Peter's on there. So that some of them go back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a loop de loop, like I thought you were on the ship still. That's why we're back here. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm on the other ship. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't know. It just seemed like a loose, like a easy plot device to get
No,
characters
I
where you
think that
want
was
them at.
all done, purposely to separate them
Yeah.
and have them have their own moments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then there's a bunch of different humanoid or races and stuff like that, and animals, and on the actual High Evolutionary ship. So they find like this whole race of females, right?
Yeah, I think it
Or
was all
little
female, but
girls.
there might have been some little boys there too.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I don't really recall. I just remember the little girl with the white hair
So
and some other ones.
one of the characters that now is going to be a future Guardians of the Galaxy is introduced at this moment. And that character, I guess, apparently in the comic book, she takes over as what's the guy with the bands? Quasar, I think. She takes over as a Quasar for a moment in the comic book.
Quasar.
Yeah. Quasar is the guy with the nega bands.
I'm not familiar with him.
And yeah, there's a bunch of galactic MC Marvel characters.
Okay.
But she I think she does that. I think she's like part Cree or something like that. So what was that little? Did they mention that at all? Like that whole race was like Cree influence or something?
No, they didn't mention
No, they didn't mention that at all.
these little
Yeah,
gyps are. Yeah, no,
yeah.
they just it was
Because
clear
even at
that he was.
yeah.
It was just clear that the High Evolutionary was trying to get them
Hmm.
to be. If he was trying to get them to
Right,
be the perfect
right.
beings.
You're right. So
But he
she
wanted
had
them kind of like,
powers. Yeah,
yeah, she ended up having powers.
yeah.
And
Well, they probably didn't have powers when they were that small, but later on in the movie, when it gets to the final cutscene, you can see that she has some powers and she's part of Guardians of the Galaxy, the new version, stuff like that. But
yeah, he was frustrated with them because they had all
yeah.
this ability, but they didn't have the cognitive ability that Rocket had.
Ah, yes, 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 yes. That's what they wanted. He wanted. That was the main, actually, the main plot of the whole movie. High Evolutionary wants Rocket back because he wants that brain,
Yeah.
and he figured out he was still alive because his little thing went off.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You're getting it, Speedy.
yeah, I get it. I get it. All right, my whole house is designed to interrupt me at any given time. Okay. All right. So I apologize anybody who's watching this on the replay. Okay. So keep me in line here. Well,
So yeah, I think they get
they're
it
stuck
back
on the
and
ship.
they're
Yeah.
able to save Rocket.
Yeah.
And at first they think it doesn't work, and that he's gone, and then Quill does, I think you do the yelling, you do your monologue to the dead
Right.
person thing, and
Right.
Rocket sees his old friends.
Mhm.
That whole plot too. That was a whole flashback plot of them thinking they were going to be getting away, and Rocket coming up with a plan to get them out, and they all get killed. So we get to see that, and then he comes back. He comes back after seeing his friends saying, "Hey, Rocket, it's not your time."
Yeah,
And
and that was a very touching scene. There was a lot of people with some not dry eyes
yeah,
in that scene.
yeah.
It was very
Like I
nice.
said,
Had a
man,
lot of heart. It was very
no one
good.
wants to see an otter die.
Yeah. I had a feeling like, oh man, like we're not gonna have Rocket no more. You know.
Yeah, like I said, beginning of the show, we all thought that some of these Guardians were going to die.
Mm-hmm. 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 And then
So
there's a bunch of struggle, and now they're destroying the ship and confronting Rocket's getting back to the ship now. He finds his raccoons, and he actually is a raccoon, even though he tells everybody he's not.
yeah, that
Yeah.
this scene where they board the High Evolutionary ship was
Mm-hmm.
really dope.
Yeah.
That was a really dope fight scene.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a very well done fight scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably the highlight of all the fight scenes and all the confrontations on the movie is that
yeah. This movie had this was
raiding the ship.
of Groot's best moments, fight scene
Mm-hmm.
wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is like Groot, doing some CrossFit, doing some workouts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a little diesel. He's a little diesel.
Yeah. Groot
Yeah.
was Diesel in this.
And he had a bunch of different things in the confrontation in the first confrontation with the High Evolutionary. He had hidden all the hidden guns
Yeah,
in his roots or whatever, and that was fun. But we've seen that in the trailer, of course. That was
yeah,
one of the highlights of the trailer.
yeah. But Groot,
But
Groot
but
has some
seeing it
great
actually
moments.
and why it was executed that way, it was actually interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess the whole head of the Celestial is kind of like a battle fortress too.
yeah. Apparently, yeah, they were just using that.
Yeah. Because I guess they got piloted or they figured out how to make it be a ship, with thrusters and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like they just retrofitted the whole head, which is
yeah,
interesting because then that goes into a lot of the things. Remember, we're talking about with the island, the Bahamut island that's left over by the Eternals.
yes,
And then we might get the adamantium from that island and all that stuff. Little things that makes it interesting. They use a celestial head to be like a ship,
yeah,
and it took a
yeah.
lot of damage and it survived in that whole confrontation. So it's very interesting just watching how they use it.
Yeah, I don't want to say humanize, but just what I'm starting to like about the galactic stuff
Mm-hmm.
is that it like levels playing fields, I guess, where everything doesn't seem so extreme and extraordinary when you see it now. So after seeing all these, like we were talking about, clearly, excuse me, one of
That's
the
okay.
people with the Ravagers has the Doctor Strange powers. We see that clearly, like this universe is so vast and there's so many abilities, so many powers going on that it doesn't seem so strange when you run into strong beings as it would if you were on Earth. So on Earth, everybody has to have an origin story, like how they got their powers. But the good thing about the galactic stuff is that you don't have to have an origin story. It's just no, this our species is this strong, and this species does this, you know. So
yeah, I enjoyed that.
I think that's
Enjoyed
dope.
that. Yeah, I think that was really dope. And I think the galactic MCU by itself for Earth could be a really cool thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was doubting it when it first started,
Mm-hmm.
but it's turned out pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Like in the comic book form, like there's a lot of lore in the galaxy, the Marvel galaxy outside of Earth. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that's going on. You know,
Yeah,
and a lot of storylines to follow and stuff like that. So they could definitely do a lot. There's a lot of source material, good source material, and things they could do.
yeah,
So confrontation. Would they warp back in they warp in the headquarters, the celestial head base nowhere, and then they have the kind of like the rescue. Did they crash the other ship? That was it. The
yeah. They kind of docked it or like merged it, kind of
yeah.
almost
They had that
landed on
major
it. Yeah,
yeah. When they did that, I was like, oh man, how the hell they're gonna get out of this? And then
yeah,
the ship shows
yeah.
shows up.
Now that was a plot hole. That was a
Yeah.
plot device. Like, well, wouldn't nowhere be kind of destroyed a little bit? But I guess not.
Yeah, whatever. I guess time has passed, you know. And Rocket is this genius, you know.
No, I meant like when it collided with the celestial head,
Oh
like
yeah,
the way it collided.
yeah.
I said, wouldn't
So
nowhere get damaged from that?
right,
Like,
but then it then it makes me think about the rumors and things that are going to be worked on with the other, you know, the stuff on Earth.
yeah,
That I guess you know that's why they use a celestial head as a base, you know, to live in because it's pretty sturdy. You know what I mean?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So yeah, we get the dope. We
That's
get
me
the
trying
dope
to make
fight.
sense of it.
Yeah, we get the dope fight scene. We get Rocket rescuing the raccoons.
Right.
And I think this is Nebula's human moment where she's like, we got to take the kids to Nebula and Drax. So like, we got to get these little white kids off of here. And,
to be fair, they're alien. Okay.
I saw a couple of ethnic kids in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So
and the fight with the High Evolutionary.
Yeah, they had to fight with the High Evolutionary. Rocket Raccoon has a confrontation with High Evolutionary. Enclosure there.
So this is a part that I was like, oh no, not the kids can't be in here. When they take his face off.
Oh yeah, that was a little face off like John Travolta in the Nicolas Cage movie there moment.
They took his face off, and
like,
I said, oh no, the children. The children can't see this.
It's okay. The children need to know what's under the skin. There you go.
Yeah, that was a little dark.
Yeah, it was. It was a little. Like I said, pushing that boundary definitely.
Yeah,
what he can get away with. Yeah, but it was interesting for the most part. The conversation. I really liked the actor, the High Evolutionary actor. Yes. Whatever happens with Jonathan Majors, if they could figure out some way to make this High Evolutionary some kind of variant of Kang, I'll be okay. Let's keep going.
I was thinking that the entire film.
You think so?
I was like, man, if they make him, I was hoping that it would be at the end that he was a variant. But I guess they were keeping these things separate. They probably had a full plan. I don't think Jonathan Majors is done quite yet. We'll see.
Man.
I think it's a big move to already make the decision to like move on from him. But if they do, this would be a great.
He was really good, man.
He was really good. He was really good. His motivations were good. You know what I mean? Not good, but his motivations were like it made sense.
Good and for an antagonist. Yeah, you go.
Yeah. He had personality. So Yeah, that was a great villain.
Yeah.
That was a great villain, and it wouldn't be unreasonable for some version of him to still be alive.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I think that's definitely a big option they should explore if they have to hit that nuclear button.
Yeah, and if he's the high evolutionary, are there other evolutionaries? You know what I mean? Does someone else
Oh, I
just
mean,
take his
sure.
place?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Why not? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he clearly just took that face.
Oh yeah. Maybe it wasn't his real face.
Yeah,
Think
he
about that.
shoplifted
Or
that
was it?
face.
Well,
No, it wasn't his
no.
face.
In the pre, was it? But no, in the pre losing, getting damaged at when Rocket in the flashback ripped up his face. His face looked the same. The actor was the same actor, or the face was the same. It just didn't have that pulled back and tied version. You know?
Okay, it didn't have the pullback tie version. Okay.
Yeah, or the pulled back and stretched version.
Yeah. Yeah, got you.
Yeah. So let's see. We had the confrontation. Everybody's trying to escape the ship, and we get our scene with Star-Lord. We actually think we actually might be Star-Lord that we might lose. Yeah.
I was set up to make some money on this. Because I told a friend of mine, so Cam, that Star-Lord would be the one to die.
Yeah.
No fucking. He's like, no way.
And you were there.
Like,
you were almost at the finish line like this, right?
Damn you! I was right there, man. I was right there.
And then James Gunn went like this to you.
Snatched it away from me. Shit, man.
But it was interesting. It was cool. I think it was a nice moment.
Yeah, it made absolutely no sense, but I understand it cinematically. I understand it why you would do that.
I guess. It was okay. It was all right. I accept it for what it is. Then I don't understand. So the conclusion of the movie, they survive the confrontation with the High Evolutionary, and they're fixing the damage to nowhere and stuff like that. I don't understand the reason why they're separating, other than for the sake of separating, because they're just tired.
Yeah, sick of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Kind of like what happened on our podcast here.
Yeah. Kind of. It's funny. I do like the new, kind of like this new version of the Guardians of the Galaxy led by Rocket Raccoon, and he takes the leadership role after Star-Lord just says he's got to go back home and see his family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like they kind of ended on an open-ended thing with Gamora, where Gamora now has a little bit more appreciation for him, maybe, if not affection.
Yeah.
At least appreciation for him.
Yeah, it's almost like they're opening up a little bit to the idea that.
Yeah. But then it seemed like when she's reunited with the Ravagers, she's like a family reunion. You know what I mean? Like this is like that group is her family now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
I'm always so perplexed by that outfit that Sylvester Stallone has on as a Ravager.
Oh man, I just think he just does that. He just does that for the check. He's just like, yeah, sure, we'll do it.
Yeah, but like, what is that outfit? He has like the little. Is he human too?
I guess it's no. Yeah, I think he's human. Yeah, he's definitely human too. I don't think he's an alien.
Okay.
It's definitely. I don't know if he's exactly from Earth or humanoid.
Yeah.
So I guess Kree is technically look the same. Look very. They can look human or blue.
Yeah.
They can look human skin color, or they can look blue color. The Kree.
Right.
So maybe he's Kree. Maybe I don't know. It's possible. Let's see what else. Are we gonna? Okay, we got the season. They separate. Then we get the cutscene of the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Adam Warlock survives, of course, the confrontation. It's kind of like, I don't understand I see a lot of the criticisms of the movie is Adam Warlock. Of anything I've seen about any criticism about the movie, and I think maybe when he changes from being super mad to super like appreciative,
Yeah,
he was, and it was kind of like no bridge there.
Yeah, no, his family, his mother is ripped away from him. He's been indoctrinated to, go do this one thing, and then
Mhm.
all that guidance is gone, and these people took care of him. He's
Yeah.
still a teenager, so it's like anybody ever watch Different Strokes? It'd be like saying, why is Arnold not mad at Mr. Drummond? Like, no, he just wants. What you talk about, Willis?
He
He
just
just
wants to
wants a
live.
place to be. Yeah,
He just wants to live, and
yeah. That's
which is cool. I
ultimately
think it's cool.
is what the Guardians of the Galaxy is all about. Like, Rocket
Yeah.
doesn't. Rocky comes in. I don't need family.
Yeah.
Quill comes in. I don't need anybody. Gamora is rebelling against her father. Nebula is the same.
Mhm.
Rocket and Groot are cool, but like the whole crew are people who left their supposed guide,
Right.
father figures, guidance, guide people.
Even
guiding
the guy that inherited Wandu, what's his name again?
Wandu, yeah,
Wandu. He inherited the whistle arrow from
yes,
him,
yeah,
and he had a whole little arc of him trying to master it and not feeling confident. There you go. That's what he needed. He needed the confidence to actually do it.
yeah. And he left the Ravagers. So it's always all these characters that are in the Guardians that become Guardians are people that have left or are abandoned by another family and are now, part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, becoming their new family. It's like in some ways, Guardians is a more realistic version of Fast and Furious.
And I like that this, in his experiences and his adventures as a Guardian of the Galaxy member, he might quite possibly be turned into the Adam Warlock that we appreciate from the comic books. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's actually kind of dope.
Yeah.
Well,
Drax and Nebula are staying on Nowhere, correct?
Right. They're on, but they're still on Nowhere, and of course, Nowhere is still the base for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of like, but they're just doing their own things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nebula's
Drax
kind
is
of like
taking care of the
being
kids.
Yeah.
But one of the kids now becomes one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay.
So yeah, I looked that up, and that is Quasar, who they're going to be calling Quasar. It is her.
Yep. She takes over in the comic book. She takes over for the guy who's Quasar for a little while.
Yeah.
And she even gets a sword.
Vel.
Yeah.
Vel?
Yeah, Vel, you're right. And then she even gets the black sword, which is it's related to the symbiotes in the comic books. So who knows if they do that in the future. With the Krull, I think it's that guy's name. He's a bad guy in the recent Venom storyline in the comic books.
Oh, okay,
he's
he's
like the master symbiote leader.
Yes,
something like that.
Yeah, he's like a badass from what I understand.
Yeah. He's a big problem in the comic book. Big problem. So I think they might do that because they kind of did it a little bit. Those dark characters that they were fighting in Thor Love and Thunder, which we don't really want to talk about that movie too much, but that one scene where they were fighting and the Jane Foster store was introduced there.
Oh,
for the first time. That those creatures that were fighting are based on those symbiotes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go. No, let's not go down that.
Yeah, you're going into the weeds.
Explaining hole that I almost did. Let's talk about Fast X just a little bit.
What are you giving this? What are you giving on a scale of 1 to 10? What are you giving?
Because you have to grade fast movies with a curve.
No, I'm talking about Guardians. Did you do Guardians?
Oh, Guardians is probably a 4.5 out of 5. It was a great movie.
Okay.
Yeah. But Fast X, when you grade it, you had to grade it on the curve. And as an action fan,
graded on the X for Fast X curve.
Yeah, as a fan of movies, action movies, they really I don't know what happened when they were filming this movie, or maybe it happened just by accident. I think they finally sat down and said, "Hey, we have all these great action superstars on our roster. The antagonist and the protagonist. You know what I mean?"
Mm-hmm.
And they said, let's just make some great action sequences. And they probably said, okay, fights and everything. And everyone must have agreed on it because all the action sequences were freaking awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Even the crazy, because you were going to get crazy, don't make no sense, death-defying, logic-defying car stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get that. You know what I'm saying? But even then, you're like, okay. You know what I mean? Not that it's not less, incredible, or unbelievable what you just watched. But at this point, if you've watched 9 of these movies already and you're still here, you're like I was kind of.
Yeah.
Even though I did not like Fast 9. Fast 9 was oh my god, what did we watch? You know what I mean? Yeah, that was pretty bad. But I guess they took the criticisms from Fast 9 in stride, and they really, really decided, let's make a really cool action movie.
Okay.
Or at least we're gonna have these, Charlize Theron fight Michelle Rodriguez in a secret laboratory. Let's make it dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I honestly cashed out around 5.
Yeah, 5 was probably the best one, and if you were out at 5, yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Because the Fate of the Furious is a better one too, but then 6 is like, okay. 7 is okay.
I know I saw
Fast
the
and
one with
Furious
the
is
Rock
better.
in it. I saw the one with the Rock.
Yeah, I think that's 5 or 5. 5 he gets introduced, right? I think. I don't remember, no. It's too much.
So I definitely but I haven't seen Jason Statham in one of these films yet. Put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, and there's did you see the one with him, Rock and Jason Statham, the spinoff?
Hobbs and Shaw? I did not.
Hobbs and Shaw? Okay.
I did not see Hobbs and Shaw.
That was okay.
I'm considering going back to watch some of these. Like I kind of want to see Fast 10 because I'm hearing good things about this one.
It's
again on the scale.
Jason on my scale on my as an action movie, I have to give it a 4 out of 5, man. All the action scenes, if there were fights, they were all interesting. Like you were involved. Even the plot, the Jason Momoa he stole the show.
That's what everyone says.
Stole the movie. His character, he turned his character practically into Joker light.
Wow.
Yeah. So he has a lot of chaotic energy, and he's doing a lot of fun stuff. And if you like that style of antagonist, you're gonna like his take. It's not Joker style, and not that he has makeup.
Yeah, I know. He's not. Yeah, he's not the clown prince of homicide. I get it.
It's a very a chaotic. Like you don't know what's gonna be next, and a lot of shockers that he brings. To and without ruining the story of the movie. A lot of cliffhangers and different things and surprise, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't think about this. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah. He always has. Seems like he's one step ahead all the time.
Exactly, and I think he's a good antagonist for this world, this crazy world where you can do these logic defying, gravity defying things with cars. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, that's one thing I've been hearing from everybody, that Jason Statham is really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jason Momoa.
Jason Statham, he has a scene, a good cameo scene in there, a long cameo scene, where he has a final confrontation with the person he thought he killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it was very interesting. But yeah, that's my take. I'm sure people will give it a lower score. But I really appreciate the action. Like they were like, okay, we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like these two characters are gonna fight right now. Like let's go. You know what I mean?
If you're taking the energy to go see Fast X or whatever, mm-hmm. like you got to go understand that you're gonna go see Fast X.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna see what you're gonna see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the people who watch Top Gun and be like, those aren't realistic roles they're doing, and then shut the fuck up, man.
You know why you're here. They know why you're here. Everyone knows. Okay, all right. Mission Impossible. Talk about crazy stunts and action. There's new Mission Impossible. You seen the trailer?
I have not seen the trailer for this.
Oh man, I don't know how that man still stands. The things that he was doing in that movie, or he's in that trailer. Forget the movie. You know what I mean?
Scientology. He's a 3rd level. Yeah. He's the 17th level. Whistleblower. I don't know what they call him.
Hail Xanadu.
Right, yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's it. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, Tarek? Anything else you watched, checked out, or anything like that?
I think we got everything. I'm about to watch Legion of Superheroes with Supergirl.
Okay.
It's currently on HBO.
The cartoon.
Right, the cartoon. Yeah. So yeah. So I'll be ready to talk about that whenever we next have a show.
Nice. Okay.
So I know next Monday is Memorial Day, so I'm not sure if we'll be having a show that day or on Tuesday or whatnot.
I think we're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
I think we'll take a break next Monday. And then the following Monday we'll come back, and I think
Joey is seeing the Flash. Correct.
He
right
is
now
currently seeing the Flash, and I was kind of hoping to
bitch.
get a text from him. A text for him by now. It's 9:46.
Oh no, that movie probably didn't start till 7:30. So,
well, let's see here. Should I text him? Nah, let's not do that.
Yeah. He's probably under gag order.
Probably. I don't know because it didn't seem like I saw the same thing. It didn't have no review embargo or anything.
Yeah,
but then he might have had a media invite, and they might have had a review embargo in that.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, people are gonna. There's normal people are going to see the movie. It's an open screening.
Can we not call them normal people, Speedy? Those are listeners we're talking about.
People who are not media people. Normal movie goers.
Want some IP power.
So people, if they're gonna just post on their Facebook or Instagram how the movie was, I don't see why they're gonna stop media from doing it. So I don't think there is an embargo.
I hope it's good, man. There's still a lot of controversy around Ezra Miller, but despite his actions, I hope the movie is good because there are other people in the movie that are probably banking on it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So hope for their sake at least.
That's right.
Maybe they'll garnish his wages.
Tuesday, which was good. Actually, probably not gonna go see it Monday because Tuesday, me and Joey are gonna see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse screening. Yeah, and I don't. There's no review embargo, so as soon as we're out of the movie, we might do a fresh out the theater video, and we might do that.
Yeah, this is taking place tomorrow.
No, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, next Tuesday is the review, is the screener, and then we might do just out of the theater review. Yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the live show, Geek Culture Congress podcast. If you're watching this on the Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel, follow the audio version of this podcast. There's a lot of other episodes and interviews and things that I put up there on audio version only. That are exclusive to the podcast. So you want to follow the podcast. I got the QC code up there in the left-hand corner. If that's not good enough, just type in Geek Culture Congress podcast in your search bar in Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, and you should be able to find it just fine there, okay? But if you're joining us on the other channels too, welcome. We try and do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Joey Franchise usually joins us as well, and hopefully in a couple weeks, you'll be able to join us too. Tarek, let everyone know on the audio podcast how they can follow you, sir.
At My Name is Tarek on Instagram and also on the Mighty YouTube.
Yeah. And of course, me at DJ Speedy JR, all the socials. Thank you so much for joining us here in the live version of the podcast. And we'll see you guys next week with a review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Have a good one, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening and great rest of your week. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, okay?
Peace.
Peace.